feel like you're right.
Yeah, they did it against Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
I remember because Fada, I was very interested in the offlane Phoenix. It's a hero that I used to really like to run. I watched it closely, and Fada had a really rough game. But they still managed to overcome, in part because they had the Ace Lone Druid and they had the mid-1 Invoker, so they were able to play that late game.
Yeah, it was a very late game, 56-minute game. Let's get some predictions. Jack, we'll start with you this time around.
I'm going to say I like Secret's draft. I don't think that Newbee has the best answers. I think Secret can play very aggressive across other lanes. I think Phoenix is an underrated hero in that respect, and I like Secret for game 1.
Okay, Cap?
I'm actually going to go Newbee here. I think the Secret have been trying to play a little bit more aggressive. I'm just not sure if they're 100% in their wheelhouse, and this is an aggressive lineup for sure. So.
Okay. So
Newbee. Sorry.
Okay.
Newbee.
All right.
I even full production. My bad.
He's trolling production now as well. Well done, Cap. They've gone for 1 for Newbee and 1 on the other side for Secret. As we head into game 1, it's time to hand you over to our commentary team. Zoyori, it's all yours, man.
Thank you very much, Paul. It is a pleasure to be here in game 1 of Secret Newbee. Starts now. Trent, we've got some interesting picks. How you feeling coming into game 1?
I mean, this is what you want, right? Secret, Newbee, Titans right at the top of the DPC. Team still looking to prove themselves, though. One trying to get right to TI, and the other just trying to keep themselves in that big conversation of the very top teams. So let's get right into it.
Absolutely. So Phoenix, one of the more surprising picks, as well as Luna. I believe this is the second Luna pick of the tournament. So things are changing now that we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, very quickly, of course. But a little bit of speed. You know, these are definitely 2 of the slower teams. Like to play a more team fight-oriented game, heading to those later game objectives. Lots of Roche, lots of refresher shards popping around in every single one of their games.
Absolutely, my friend. Some initial wards coming down. Dire going to get a little bit of vision in the mid lane. And so far, Radiant just have 1 ward down in their jungle as we move into a quick pause.
Already trying to find a couple of those wards, but not quite right. But what do we got this time? So in terms of the drafts overall, we're dealing with that much faster pace than the typical Newbee Dota, looking much more like, of course, of the game we just had up on stage from VGJ Thunder as the Luna Viper. 2 early game focused cores. Maybe try and get yourself a little bit of lead in the laning phase, run that down. The Phoenix, though, as you were mentioning, definitely not a hero we see all too often. When it used to be popular, it was set up a lot by something like Tidehunter or Faceless Void, because you have this like kind of almost like guaranteed sort of a stun idea, right? Something that's like big control, couple heroes, and then you want the follow-up with the egg. But someone else who likes to do the exact same thing is Disruptor. You want to obviously get Static Storm on top of something like a Ravage or a Treant Overgrowth or something like that. But they have to kind of work in tandem, I guess, off of like Fissures maybe might be your big goal here. So certainly a lot of burden, I would say, on Yapsor in this one to make sure that he's the one setting up for those big follow-up spells from Puppey and Fada. And I mean, that even extends over to the other cores too. When you're talking about Ace with the call downs and then just that general initial burst damage during a team fight from mid one.
Absolutely. When I think of Phoenix, I think about versatility, right? You've got huge team fight with that ultimate, but Sunray, one of the pretty good support spells. We've seen that keep people alive in team fights, turn those little tiny edges when your cores are relatively low on HP. So thoughts about Phoenix in the position 3? I think of him more as a support these days rather than a true offlaner.
He's just a hero that's always struggled with the levels, though. So getting into the core role, it's always going to feel a lot nicer with the hero. And percent-based damage, of course, a rare thing. Underlord, he has it, but it tends to be pretty handy up against him as well. So it'll be a little bit of a battle there between those 2 heroes.
Looks like a 2-1-2 going to be coming out of Newbee. Underlord starting in the off lane, and for now, Kaka going to be down there alongside. So looking to put some pressure on this gyrocopter nice and early. Secret, they could be gearing up for an aggro tri-lane. Looks like Earthshaker's back at the base, looking to block things off so they can get that lane control nice and early on.
Yeah, Shaker, Disruptor, you're going to punish this. I mean, one's the Walking Fisher, and one is a hero that basically just spams Thunderstrike for the first couple minutes of the game. So Luna already good against that. Witch Doctor, nice as well. Very aggressive 2 heroes. They can handle, honestly, they can probably handle all 3 if they want to hang out up here.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And, you know, Luna's not a hero we've seen too much in this event, as we were mentioning, and she's one that you almost have to pressure. If she gets that early momentum, if she gets out of control, feels very hard to deal with. Of course, that aura synergized nicely with 5-man, kind of the same sort of stuff you want to do with a Naga Siren as well as an Underlord. So the pick definitely makes sense here. I guess the question is, will Secret be able to pressure this Luna enough that she doesn't get out of control?
Yep.
Also want to mention this mid lane here, Viper versus Tiny. Thoughts about that? I imagine that should be pretty Viper favorite.
Yeah, not a lot of fun, of course, but Tiny, he's got the damage, so mid one, he can do all kinds of shenanigans now with trees. Yeah, the hero's been nerfed a little bit, but it's Tiny. He can basically lane anywhere. I know, that's why the hero's still so strong right now.
Yeah,
But you saw the Fisher blocks as well up top from YapzOr. One of the benefits, like Clockwork has fallen out of favor, but that was one of the best parts about picking up the heroes to enable poor offlaners, and Phoenix definitely fits the bill there. Sure, survivable hero, but not necessarily the best at keeping that wave in a nice spot.
Yeah, it's turned into a 2-on-2 now. Puppey on the Disruptor is rotated to the bottom lane to support Ace, kind of reading the lanes from Newbee.
Yeah, Gyro's currently sitting at 0 CS. There we go. Snags one up there. But this is why Newbee, it's not just about the Naga Disruptor. You know, the dual lane pressures they apply with the hero has always been a real staple of why it's become so popular for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Naga and Underlord both very beefy in those early levels. We see YapzOr up to some shenanigans in the top lane, trying to mitigate this pull from Faith, or at the very least absorb some experience. Pump faking for the last hits. But nothing too out of the ordinary out of this laning phase here, Trent.
Yeah, Faith, though. I mean, that long initiation range from Fada could be our easy way to set one up here.
The Coconut bounces back and forth. He does hit Maledict on 2, but it's a nice block for the Fissure. Of course, the first blood comes out elsewhere as we see this, but they will secure the kill onto Faith. The first blood, however, was drawn by the Naga Siren in the bottom lane on the Gyrocopter, so Newbee find the better of that global exchange.
Yeah, certainly almost inevitable, honestly, with just the Disruptor helping you out. Gyro having to play so aggressive, just get a couple last hits here. Still at 2-1 versus the 10-5 of the Underlord as the wave comes under his tower, and he can try and catch up a bit here.
Underlord Naga is a pretty nasty duo. Just the basic synergy of the Ensnare on top of the Firestorm. You get a lot more guaranteed damage on that Underlord than you might normally expect in those early levels, and you can see it in the CS chart. Underlord right up there alongside the Luna.
Yeah, and they're just like playing in the wave. You know, they can just push it in with the Underlord, and then you know, 4 armor on Underlord, 10 armor currently on Naga. She passed the tower, but of course she's just at 7. But
she's beefy. Double damage on Puppey might give Ace a little bit of breathing room in the lane here, as KP doesn't really want to go blow for blow with that. And looking at the mid lane, seems to be a pretty even spread. In fact, it's mid one with the advantage on the Tiny.
What a hero.
Yeah, what a hero indeed. Nerfed a little bit in that last patch, but doesn't really seem to be slowing down mid one all too much. Up top, a little more of an exchange. It is going to be a safe lane try from Newbee now as they rotate in. Fada could be the first to fall as he's forced to Icarus dive away. YapzOr trying to finish off Faith as he moves through the trees, but this Earthshaker now going to be the one in trouble. Lucent Beam bringing him low, looking for an escape path perhaps. He does have the TP, but he's going to get scouted out, and Snare will interrupt it. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the Underlord also going to go down. It's Ace that gets credit for that with the level 2 Rocket Barrage.
Nice play there, just getting a little bit more aggressive with the Naga up top, trying to pressure that dual lane instead. So 2-2, pretty well even across the board on net worth as well.
Yep. We're seeing that more commonly now. As soon as those supports show in another lane, it's likely the opposition will try to put that pressure on as soon as they know the Underlord is solo. So very good for Secret, and of course much needed recovery for Ace, not only getting the kill, but now having a little more space to farm the lane.
We'll have to see how this game starts translating as well. Underlord, a hero that's certainly not known for moving around a whole lot. So Fada might be able to give that edge over to Secret.
Yeah, a lot of action in the top lane. Kaka getting low, but they want to commit for this kill on Fada. The Maledict is on, and he will fall, but likely to be a 1-for-1. YapzOr gets the return kill, 3-3. Still a very even laning stage.
No one can seem to get an edge here. Just trading back and forth over and over. I guess you could say at least, you know, Mugi's just last hitting, but at the same time, mid one not only getting the advantage in the mid, but moving in some of those jungle camps as well.
Yeah, maybe not too surprising though, Trent. When you talk about coming to a matchup of Secret versus Newbee, it's one of these regional matchups that you don't really get to see except for on LAN, but this one, I feel like both these teams are very evenly matched from a basic skill perspective.
Yeah, they play the game pretty similar. I think at the start of the tournament, you'd have to favor Secret, but, well, Fada, he's not favored in that 3v1.
Naga Siren, pretty good against the Phoenix in that scenario. Icarus dive, not going to be able to save you, and Phoenix, very low armor. When you're stuck in place like that, you definitely go down quick. Good little bit of punishment there. But kind of as you mentioned, I guess Fada not overly concerned about farm. Really, it's the experience that the Phoenix is after in these early levels.
Yeah, just him and YapzOr. You know, you need some way to try and enable YapzOr, and in this case, it's basically sandbagging in some ways, but...
Down bottom, glimpse onto KP. The dubious duo of Ace and Puppey have a lot of damage. A nice block from YapzOr, and it'll be a 3v1 in the bottom lane to find another kill for Team Secret. Now squared up again, 4 apiece.
Yeah, it was close. I was getting worried with one team having an edge.
Yeah, this mid lane still going well for the Tiny. He's kind of transitioned into a little bit of a jungler now, but in terms of overall CS and just looking at the farm, actually Viper has a small net worth edge, but still great stuff for the Tiny as Fada once again initiated on. He'll have the Shrine. That's going to counter most of the effects of the Maledict, and I think he'll be able to survive through this without too much trouble, but the pressure is real for this off-lane Phoenix.
Yeah, just struggling to get to level 6, but once he does have it, there's a decent setup just from YapzOr. You know, he might be able to Fisher and then dive in and set up an egg that's difficult for them to grab. If mid one's nearby, I can just throw in an Avalanche. So they definitely have a lot of that protective AoE that you look for when you have the Phoenix egg. So although it's not going to be that big like wombo combo stuff you look for, it's going to be much more like kind of scrappy Phoenix egg fights.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see if they can manage to get any damage on top of it. You are working with two very close heroes in terms of like the Naga and the Underlord might struggle to get some damage on there, but Viper and the Witch Doctor tagging away with Luna somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how this laning phase has ended up for Secret. The Tiny's rotated into the jungle, stacking and farming pretty well, sharing that experience with Disruptor, and now Fada's taken over the mid lane. Absolutely fantastic for Newbee as Luna is now in free farm heaven up top and #1 on net worth by a nice little bump. And I think for Mugi, this is what he wants out of the laning phase, just working on those early items.
Yeah, they're even going to bring a few heroes up top here just to, you know, someone's probably going to show and defend this tower, so SCCC wouldn't mind grabbing himself a free kill. YapzOr sees that too, though. He is wandering the long way around, does not want to take any risks here.
Uh-oh, that's a level 6 Viper. Puppey could find himself in a sticky situation, just staying out of vision. Very close call, but he will make it into the tree line, and Newbee don't have eyes. Secret posturing like they want to mount a defense here. YapzOr is already here, and the Tiny is now rotated. Puppey's going to show, and he's going to get caught by the Eclipse. Mugi finds a freebie up top. Secret will now show to try to repel, but they do lose one already.
If they can hold, though, Fada is getting some levels mid. Ace is ready to rotate. He has that call down, so they can't be too over-aggressive here from Newbee. And this isn't exactly their strong suit. Not something that here, like the players of Newbee are really used to doing and performing, so have to see if they make any mistakes.
Yeah, early rotation from the Viper, and it looks like they'll take heed to your advice here, Mr. Trent Pax, and they will back up without taking undue risk. Still a lot of pressure on the tower. Down bottom, KP up to a pull to try to get a little bit of lane control back, though Ace, he sees it. He might try to contest. The call down will connect, and now the follow-up. Huge damage from the Rocket Barrage, even though the Firestorm is ticking him down. KP running low on options. Kaka on the way in. Bounty Rune picked up, but it will be the end of him. Kaka looking for a counter kill, and Snare will connect. Faith now rotating in, has a Maledict, a cast, but Kaka needs to be careful. Rocket Barrage doing so much damage here. Ace picks up the Bounty Rune himself and might be able to find it. No, it's so close, but 20 HP, the Naga survives.
See, when you play Naga every game, you perfectly get the limits of the hero, and Kaka's in there. No concern.
Yeah, I mean, in those early levels, you think of Naga as a really tanky hero because she has a decent amount of HP and so much armor, but of course the magic damage from the Rocket Barrage just cuts right through it.
Easy raindrop. No worries.
Okay, so 5-6. It looks like Newbee are the ones taking the advantage out of this laning phase, especially with that Gyrocopter taking a tumble. Luna feeling pretty comfortable in her current position. This is sort of reminiscent of the last Luna game we saw just moments ago, Trent.
Yeah, we got auras on auras being thought about here. Mugi considering the helm, and SCCC, I mean, he's already got the headdress, so I don't know if he wants to go for the hood into a pipe or something like that, but Newbee have a game plan. You know, they came in and when you look at these two teams on paper, they're late game. You know, that's their thing. So maybe Newbee were like, okay, maybe we don't have to go full early aggression, like insane, but if we can get that edge, we know they're a little bit slower.
Yeah, Helm of the Dominator seems like a very well-suited item for Luna in the current meta, right? Get her some extra survivability. There are a lot of things you can do with that creep, stacking in the jungle, and also just the diversity of having stuns and slows and purges and whatever else you can grab from your current creep at hand. Down bottom, Newbee looking for some aggressive action, but not going to find it as YapzOr TP's out just in the nick of time.
Yeah, counter push up top, though, as they force Mugi just into the jungle, so pretty typical. These games. Not to see that. And Ace has already used the call down as well, so that's going to make it much more difficult for them to actually defend bot. And, well, KP gets glimpsed right back down. So Mugi is rotating over with the help of Faith. And again, without that call down, it might be enough for them to feel safe in this position. Fada has the 6, though, but he's being seen rotated top by wards.
Yeah, not necessarily the easiest tower for Secret to push. Still only 2 members of Newbee up here, but they could make a full rotation. Mugi does have the ultimate back available. Also that first point in the bouncing glaives.
Secret are securing this for sure, though. Everyone's up here. Fada's nearby. Virtually impossible that Mugi saves this. This is starting to get into like the death trap territory.
And
He's so far
Yapsor,
forward.
there it is. It's going to be an easy initiation with the call down, the follow-up damage. More than enough as mid one finds the kill on Moogie.
Yeah, I think just like Fada showing mid was enough for him to say, okay, I think they backed off.
Yeah.
But then the other 4 heroes, well, they're chilling up top. So they will trade bottom, though. And the death of Moogie, I guess, obviously still worth it for Secret, but it's not a total disaster for Newbee.
Yeah, we're seeing this more and more commonly now. Rather than teams trying to defend those towers that are in a little bit of an awkward spot, especially those tier 1s, more often they're happy just to trade and go tier 1 for tier 1, and both sides find some benefit.
And it looks like Moogie's settling in on the Mask of Madness, so heavy aggression, and then that frees SCCC up for that help.
Mid lane, glimpse onto Kaka, but
Still an egg
follow-up
here.
won't be there. And now SCCC comes in, Puppey will TP home, and Secret are forced to disengage, but no death on either side.
Yapsor just slowly getting his net worth up there. Already 1,100 gold, has some arcane boots.
Yeah.
This guy's terrifying, you know. I really thought they were going to ban the Shaker in the first phase. Just a solution a lot of teams have gone for because somehow he just does this, you know, every game. No one else is really picking the hero, but Yapsor is extremely good at getting that early game farm. And then this support, you know, the core Shaker is that guy you think of as like really changing the game with like an early Blink Dagger or something, but he manages to do it just out of the 4.
Yeah, it's very true. 2-1-2 right now is his KDA. As we just observed, very low on the CS chart, but that's sort of what makes Yapsor so good at this role. He's not taking farm, he just always seems to be in the right place at the right time to try and set up those plays. Helm of the Dominator now completed on Viper, so curious if Newbee are actually going to go double HOD.
No, he's masking. He's good.
Okay.
The
Luna's gone mass, so they've switched it up. Now Song of the Siren comes out mid as they disengage.
Now, can they counter with the egg is the question, you know, is it worth it?
It's going to be
that Song's
tough.
down, we can
Ace
just kind of aim
is
into this.
on the way on the back, but there's the glimpse. They really want this Viper, and with the Gyrocopter here, they might just have enough damage. Toss from the Tiny helps secure the kill, and Secret will back up with one more kill under their belt.
And almost more importantly, just the cooldown of Song. Feels so much stronger pushing in that mid tower now if they want to make a commitment there. And without that early aggression or an early lead from Newbee, you start to kind of feel this Underlord. It's like, oh, what am I doing? Like, KP hasn't get to play with his team all that much. He's just kind of pushing out waves on the side, trying to keep them in some sort of an even game. But even just the Phoenix being in all these fights has felt a little more effective.
Absolutely. It looks like the Underlord gearing up towards a pipe. Definitely a great game for it. Huge magic damage on Secret, so no complaints about that item build there. And on the side of Secret, mid one seems to be going straight for the Shadow Blade, and he's actually just got it picked up, just needs a turn with the Courier or heading back to the base. But really good timing on this Shadow Blade here.
Yeah, he can start roaming around looking for kills. Yapsor can show up maybe to finish them off, or he can just camp the wave now because there's going to be this threat of the Tiny across the map, so you don't necessarily need like a roaming partner for the Tiny because the burst is so brutal. And KP's galloping his way to the side shop though.
Yeah, Dire Ancients, big stack for the Luna. I think at least a triple stack here, so Moogie's farm continuing to accelerate and maintaining that edge for Newbee. Looks like they've got another big stack on the other side in the Dire jungle.
Slowly just waiting down here. Not going to find anything, though. Oh, that ward from Newbee, though, spying the rotation of Puppey. So they understand that Secret wants to make some sort of a play down bottom. They're going to try and counter with Kaka, but again, he has no Song right now.
Needs to be a little careful. Puppey will get eyes now, and Snare comes out first, and the follow-up from Newbee, but Static Storm Kinetic Field is already gone. Puppey could be the first casualty, but no, it's the other way. It's actually KP, then Moogie. Mid one and Fada finding both those kills. Kaka now in deep. Ace will come in with a rocket barrage, and it's a 3-0. Secret pulling to the lead.
Yeah, Moogie silenced up at a very inopportune moment. You know, maybe there's a chance for an ulti, might make some kind of a play, but had to go for that raw physical damage, and they will end up getting a tier 1 mid out of it.
Yeah, small edge for Newbee, but now SCCC glimpsed back, the Echo Slam, and they will find 2 in the mid. It's a full 5-man wipe.
I think we can call that worth it. See?
Yeah. All right, well, a tower down, but also a team fight won, and now that Gyrocopter vying for the first place in terms of net worth. Also grabbing that siege creep there. Helm of the Dominator, thank you.
Oh, it's Yapsor's time. He's about to have that Blink Dagger. And when they're just already starting to get this control of the game, he's going to be able to set up a nice little play for Fada here, who has the Midas and is doing the old school build of just going Midas straight to Shivas.
Down bottom, mid one, initiates onto the Underlord. That's the Shadow Blade, and now the Sunray from Fada just ticks him down. It's another pickup for Secret. Mid one now securing an unstoppable streak.
Yeah, and that's only level 2 as well, right? Just percent base, though. So good against Underlord.
Yep. especially good for just trying to finish people off as they run away. A lot of range on that Sunray, hard to get away from.
1,400 damage from the Tiny in that, just
Already
instantaneous burst.
A Midas as well on the Phoenix. Of course, a very core item on this hero. So much about experience. You want to get to that level 3 egg pretty much as quickly as you can. Makes all the difference in those team fights. Actually, even close to the level 2 egg.
But you look at all these fights and how things have been going, and you're like, but how are they only up 1K? What's happening? Well, Moogie's farm. You know, he's hitting these Ancients. He is staying up there at the current moment. He's going to have another big stack here with a couple Prowlers and Dragons. This is the money stack.
Absolutely.
And Faith wants in on some of this.
Newbee are doing a really good job managing their economy this game and setting up Moogie for success. Luna moving into as Dragonlance up next, and of course a BKB will need to come out probably earlier rather than later this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough one, but KP has the hood, so maybe feeling like he might be able to offer something in an engagement if it bursts out there, if he can manage to get himself to the pipe.
Yeah, also those dire supports farming pretty well. We've been praising Yapzor for his farm, but Naga Siren not that far behind him. Was wondering if maybe she'd be pulling up that gold for Radiance, but looks like Glimmer Cape is the item choice up next.
Glimmer on her, and then Glimmer on Faith as well, with the Witch Doctor, of course, very common item on him, but it won't help them do Roche at all. Maybe they don't need the Medallion, though, just because they have the Underlord % base damage, they have the Luna, the Viper, so no one really needs to go for that. They're just going to go that double defensive up against that heavy magic damage. There's no question. I mean, we've got all 5 heroes on Secret are pumping out plenty of magic damage, so.
Yeah, you can't underestimate the power of Firestorm against Roche. Definitely one of the most effective spells in the game at taking out the big guy nice and quick. And, you know, similarly to Newbee, Secret are doing a great job stacking themselves. Gyrocopter and Luna, 2 of the better cores for taking out those big stacks, and well, I guess mid one not going to be any slouch in that regard either.
I'd like to see him get another kill, though. Let's rock and roll here. He's looking up towards that Silver Edge. Current moment, though, of course, you know what's helpful up against magic heroes will be Corrosive Skin, that magic resistance. Why don't we just get rid of that?
That's very true.
Pop him instantaneously.
I guess not that often you see Tinies go right for that Silver Edge without any other kind of core item. It becomes a natural upgrade at some point, but Viper, this is the stage of the game where he's very beefy, especially against the sort of lineup they have that's so magic damage based at this stage. I think it's a really smart choice.
This is his time. This is when Viper wants to be king of the jungle.
And if you can shut him down now, then you don't have to worry about the lane game.
It's Viper. You know, win lane, lose game. That kind of a hero. Now, of course, much different hero these days. Has some better options. But still, that premise definitely a little bit intact.
Yeah.
So there it is, ready to go.
Yeah, this mid-game is really quite a downtrend, but as you look at that gold graph, it is all Secret all day. Of course, they did pick up that team fight, but the last few minutes haven't really had that many kills, and they are just finding a lot more efficiency around the map.
Yeah, when you get a Midas Phoenix, you have a very greedy 4, I would say, in the Shaker too. Like, you're fine. You can chill out, and you can see Yapzor as well going for that Aether Limbs. We've seen this plenty of times up against Naga Siren, just increasing the range of your Fisher to ensure that you're going to be effective during the song, canceling out TPs if it's defensive, or canceling out combinations if it's an offensive attempt onto your own teammates.
Now here we go, smoke rotation now from Secret, not scouted out by Newbee. They may get caught unaware. Mid one with the Shadow Blade will lead the charge, and it's now a Silver Edge. They're going to go right for the Viper. The follow-up is there, but the Naga Siren does break things up. She's got the Song of the Siren. Can they set this up? KP with the Pit of Malice, but a huge dunk from Yapzor connects on 3. The Eclipse turns, and it's actually mid one that falls second, and then Ace third. It's a 1 for 3. Make it 4 as Newbee clean up Secret.
Well, they got the Viper. That's true. I thought Yapzor had to cancel the song. He was so close. But somehow, just in time, they pull it off, and that's Newbee in a nutshell. You saw it with its complexity. It's like the whole game, you're like, oh, they're losing. Oh, this doesn't look good. And then you wait for KP to come along with that Tide Hunter. Now it's Kaka in this game with the Song of the Siren. Just almost into level 12 as well, so we're going to lose another 40 seconds off that cooldown. And that's where every fight, you're just so worried about that happening to you.
And straight into the Roche pit at 20 minutes. He will fall. Aegis of the Immortal ends up in the hands of Moogie's Luna. No surprise there with a BKB queued up next. We've got a replay to take a look at. Mid one looked like a great initiation from Secret, but look at the positioning of the Naga just on the other side of the tree line. Very hard to find.
Hits too.
Yapzor had the right idea, but just half a second too late. The Underlord with a beautiful Pit of Malice. It looked like a great dunk from Yapzor to break up the fight, but since Moogie already had the Eclipse ready, it just destroyed the Earthshaker the other way.
Yep. Not caught out with the silence this time. There's Spada's face like, I just want to play some Phoenix Dota here, but they will get a return kill. His Faith does go down here.
It helps. It's a little pick-me-up for mid one, but still Newbee maintaining this lead. Also, Pipe now out on the Underlord, so everyone on Newbee going to be just a little more survivable against this magical burst in the following team fights. Yule's Scepter up next for the KP Underlord.
Trying to cancel out any plays from Fada. See him diving in. Can also like precast it on the Shaker as well. A couple different nice options for it. Save yourself inside the Static Storm. Very nice choice. As well as movement speed's always okay. But Kaka does have that Glimmer Cape roaming on in here.
They do dust mid one. The smoke gets broken, thinking maybe the Shadow Blade is closer. Now the turn the other way. Puppey with a Static Storm kinetic field. They want Kaka. But the Phoenix caught from the Icarus dive, interrupted by the Luna. He gets off the egg.
They have to defend it.
And now they are going to do that indeed. The combo will finish off the Aegis. Viper gets glimpsed back into the fight, and it looks like Secret might be able to take this. The taxi service gets queued up. KP trying to make the retreat, but he'll cancel it. Newbee think they can take this. Mid one's going to be the next to fall as Faith channels a huge backlord on the back line. Fada will survive as a nice fissure from Yapzor comes out. 1 for 1. It's a relatively even exchange as both sides only lose their mid, but a lot of cooldowns used.
Man, I thought that was going to go way worse for Newbee. That looked perfect. They defended the egg. It went off. Everyone was stunned. They started looking like they were going to bail out, but they, of course, did get the Aegis, so that does make it more difficult for Newbee to press any sort of an advantage at the current moment. And we still have the Echo Slam, too, as you can see Yapzor posturing here as his teammates return for the defense. Scouted out by Kaka on the back, though, with that illusion. And that's going to give the vision for Puppey. Which means it might not be a glimpse chase.
Will Secret pursue Sunray as well as the homing missile chasing out, but it seems Newbee are not going to press their luck, and they will just make the retreat and head back to friendly territory.
That's such a great play by Kaka, though. Wrapping with the illusion, making sure Puppey can't pull one back, can't force you to engage, because right now they do not want to fight necessarily in that moment. But
are they actually going to back up? It could be a fake back from Newbee. They go back in onto Ace. The gyrocopter completely isolated. Eclipse flying through. Maledict will probably find this kill, and the Underlord ensures it with the Pit of Malice. Nicely done.
Just as they pull back, the song comes back up, and they say, hey, we can try something. If it doesn't go well, we'll sing. We'll get out of here, but we might get ourselves a free pick, and back towards the tower we go. But once more, we still have mid one. There's sneaky initiations as well as the Echo Slam from Yapzor.
Definitely still options for Secret. Also, that Static Storm ready to rock. Sentry Ward comes down for Newbee, so they can't get wrapped on by mid one. He'll have to be very careful here. If the Tiny gets caught, this could be disastrous. KP in the front lines on that tanky Underlord, but is he tanky enough? He gets broken. Big damage comes his way, and it's mid one that finds the kill. Static Storm deployed, but well worth it as they do defend this tower.
Looks like they'll be able to sneak themselves away, though. Even with a couple wards down here, they didn't have the glimpse ready in time.
23 minutes in, Trent, a pretty even game. The gold lead, less than 1,000 for now in Newbee's favor. That'll be a gem picked up by the Witch Doctor, so it seems they do want to maintain map control and try to limit some of Secret's vision now.
Definitely feels like it's going to be the BKBs that are the next thing to come out in this game and kind of change the pace. We have the 10-second left on Mookie. We have one being constructed on Ace currently, and he's almost there as well, so maybe both teams want to relax a little bit before that's up. Fata with the Shiva's Guard would be okay with pressing a little bit forward, though.
Wow, full Shiva's completed on Fada. Pretty impressive farm for this Phoenix. I guess
90 GPM, Midas.
It's true, it adds up. I mean, you think of Underlord as a pretty good farmer in terms of off lanes because of the nature of Firestorm, how easily you can push waves, clear stacks, all that kind of stuff. But Phoenix actually ahead of him right now, despite the team not really being far ahead. It looks like Secret have just grabbed that net worth edge, but this game is so close right now.
Yeah, one thing is their catch is really weak. I mean, they're just watching mid one farm Ancients under a ward, and they can't really do much about it. You know, the range of song initiation isn't that fantastic, and with the Underlord as your offlaner, not picking up some forward that can get that long range initiation like a Clockwork or something, they can't really grab anyone. They definitely have those options on Secret. If you catch someone a little bit out like that with the Shaker or with the Disruptor, even the Phoenix or the Tiny. So this 5-man Dota from Newbee, it's very effective against the heroes on Secret, and what else is, you know, this is kind of Newbee's Dota, so they're pretty happy to play like this. This is kind of the Chinese Dota in general, you know?
Yeah, the BKB is also now picked up by Gyro, so not too much magic immunity, but both sides have it on their position 1 cores, so both sides may be a little bit more eager to take a fight right now. It'll be Secret that choose to smoke with Ace, mid 1, and Puppey. They'll rotate through the mid as Yapzor looks to initiate, but won't quite find it.
Yeah, with him being spotted, though, they understand where the smoke was going, so probably knowing their top tower is going to be punished, they'll likely just get the trade in the bottom lane.
I like this item build from Naga as well. Kaka has the Aghanim Scepter queued up. Still a ways away, but can potentially make that ultimate even more of a game changer if you pop it at the right time. Massive AoE healing for your whole team.
Yeah, better in this game than most of Newbee's games, I would say, simply because they're not running this with the Disruptor. They're not really always going for that big song initiation. It's more about the song breakup. And the other factor is that you have this Phoenix Egg that's occurring sometimes during the song, so there's still damage coming into your team, and that's going to be fine. You just you sing it up, everyone gets healed during the whole Phoenix Egg, and should be okay as it comes out. But that is a long ways away, of course.
Yep. Now Viper working on the BKB and pretty darn close himself. Actually just picked up the recipe. So that'll be the third bout of Magic Immunity as Kaka gets glimpsed back and the TP up top.
It's okay. Now KP can come in. That was just a bait. They actually want KP here, just so we can Firestorm it. It's actually true. This is way better a situation. If that was intentional, all credit to them.
Well, Puppey trying to TP out. Will get interrupted by KP's Yule's Scepter. Comes back down into the Pit of Malice.
Yeah, Secret see this play. They know that they're all wrapping.
Yeah, they are just going to leave Puppey high and dry. Smoked up. Kaka's on his way in. There should be a pretty easy ensnare to set up this kill. Static Storm, Kinetic Field deployed. Puppey doing everything he can to buy time and maybe survive, but no. The Cavalry's here, and that will be the end of the Disruptor. But from the Secret perspective, hey, it's just your position 5. Better than losing more.
And not too shabby.
Butterfly up next for Luna. She's got the Eagle Song and farming very quickly. She's going to have it in just another minute, Trent.
Well, I can tell you, Ace, he's going to call Jinx because he wants one too. So they can both be irritated at missing their right clicks.
All right, definitely a game where MKB will get a little bit more priority in the item list as the tier 2 up top gets pushed in by Newbee. Right now, Secret not really moving like they want to mount a defense.
Not moving as fast as Newbee either. I mean, from that whole top, they kind of knew exactly what they were doing. They had that vision inside the dire jungle. You knew where Newbee was going, and Secret just say, I don't think we can do anything about this, guys. They have the song. We don't have Disruptor. Like, we got to give this up. And this is that part of the map you really want the good vision over for the Roche fit. Kaka got to find YapzOr. Stops any chance of a blink there with the Riptide.
Beautifully done. It's a good use to initiate the Song of the Siren to interrupt the TP. They really want this kill on YapzOr, and they will find it. Costs them a cooldown, but hey, it's a level 2 Song of the Siren, so a little bit shorter.
But they get a little unlucky because that Roche spawn's going to be back up before the song is. So there's a chance that could have an impact. YapzOr will be here in time, though.
Okay. All right. A very tight timing window to hit, but definitely some possibilities there, Trent, no doubt.
Got to be a little bit more cautious about spending both the net and the Lucent Beam next time, it seems.
So there is the Butterfly on Luna, and Gyrocopters actually isn't that far away either. He's going to clear out another set of Ancients. Still has some farming to do, but just a few more minutes, and this Gyro will have some movement speed and evasion for himself.
Yeah, mid one has really been leapfrog, though. You know, you go for that early Silver Edge, and you don't get a lot of kills, and then it's just like, uh-oh, like, what do we do now? I mean, overall, he's got great. I mean, 10-2-1, sure. But in terms of creating that threat across the map with the Silver Edge, he certainly hasn't accelerated the same way as like a lot of farming items would have. But likely part of the plan is they try and elevate Ace and both Fada up to kind of that same level. Very balanced trio here.
Yeah, Tiny moving into the Sanj and Yasha next. Not an item you always see on Tiny. I think some players sort of regard SNY or Shadow Blade is the ultimate choice, but here mid one just going for a little more of a right-click based Tiny. Will scale very nicely, but in the interim doesn't really help his burst damage.
For now, he's just relegated to pushing out some waves, and Newbee continue their always 5-man. Roche has been spotted. 25 more seconds till the song is up, but with current posturing, no way Secret getting advantage there.
KP goes for the setup onto Gyrocopter, and it'll just push him back. No real follow-up there, but Yule's into Pit of Malice. Definitely a nice combo to start off a fight. Puppey with that Force Staff also keeping Ace nice and safe. Roshan, maybe the idea for Newbee here. They're just going to head right into the pit. Secret obviously have the option to contest, but they're right on top of a ward right now. Even if they smoke and start making the movement, Newbee will know exactly when they're coming and how fast.
Yeah, they're not quite fast enough here, so it's a little bit awkward for KP and Kaka, but there we go. They don't get there in time.
All right, Moogie the one to grab the Aegis, and Cheese now secured by the Viper, as of course that was Roche number 2 at the 30-minute mark. 17-14, still a very small lead for Newbee. Feels like they're in the driver's seat of this game, but Secret are hanging in there and still farming very nicely.
It's one fight. It's really nothing, honestly. Like, when you look at these heroes, Shaker, Phoenix, even just Tiny Disruptor, you know, there's tons of damage, tons of control that you can put on a big AoE, so one little flub by Newbee, and they can easily be down like 4 or 5K.
Yeah, but it could also go the other way. This Luna's
certainly.
already big here, Trent. If they take a team fight, this could even be Barracks. They're going to go high ground now. Mid one on the front lines. He's the one to get initiated on. He's taking huge damage, and the backup line from Secret can't get there. It's mid one down. He does not have a buyback. BKB now used by Moogie as he just lays into the tower, forces out the glyph. Newbee have to be happy with that.
He's popped his BKB before the Aegis, though. Very aggressive stance, but maybe a chance for him to capitalize. But with no Static Storm, can be difficult. Pressure really on Yapzor and Fada on this one.
And Moogie now sieging from the low ground, trying to play this safe, knowing there's no magic immunity.
They can't even win low down.
Doing pretty good damage, but Glimmer Cape is there, and if Moogie throws away the Aegis for this tier 3 tower, that'll open up shrines, and I think Newbee will still regard that as a win. Another 25 seconds until this Tiny comes back up. The tier 3 falls, and Newbee want more. They say, these are barracks open. We've got 20 seconds. Let's do this, boys.
Not one Glimmer Cape, but 2 Glimmer Capes. How can you kill this Luna?
Yeah, the aura on the Luna making this siege so much easier. They will commit for the barracks. Moogie still with the Aegis in tow.
No, the blink got canceled.
He biffs the stun. Oh,
the illusion.
No. They're going to lose the Aegis, but they will get Yapzor in exchange. Newbee are in such a great spot all of a sudden. Oh, my, Trent.
Oh, we're going to have to see who canceled that, but all the credit.
Small glimpse onto Moogie. Not going to do a hell of a lot.
They can't get too, don't go too crazy right now.
Yeah,
you have lost the Aegis.
This is Newbee's wheelhouse, though, Trent. They are so good at these kind of fake back scenarios. Secret are so nervous to leave their base right now, and Newbee know this. With a 4v5, they're assuming there's no buyback on this Earthshaker, and even if he was, there's no Echo. The Glimmer Capes coming in handy so much here.
Yeah, but the wave, it's still in the mid lane. If they can just clear with that mid, there's still no creeps top. Oh, Secret pull one back, but Fada still has pipe. Or sorry, KP still has his pipe to activate here, so not so much of an issue.
Yeah. All right. So with that, Newbee do finally retreat, perhaps grabbing the shrine on the way. Yeah, they sure will. And now we see a pretty sizable lead, definitely the biggest lead we've seen this game. So here we go. Here's the replay. What was it that stopped that blink dagger from Yapzor?
Great question.
It sure is. So earlier part of the fight, it's kind of a slow siege from Newbee. They do it quite well. Oh, it's just the glaive.
That one glaive.
That one glaive. Oh my, that's so heartbreaking.
Oh, that is brutal.
That would have been such a setup that they probably could have followed up with.
That was calculated by Moogie. Let's be honest here. Obviously, he knew that Shaker would become visible at that exact moment. So.
Well, some big items picked up following that fight. Moogie now with a full Satanic, so much more sustainability there. And on the other side, there is an MKB on the Gyrocopter. So now Ace doing a lot more damage. It will open up some possibilities.
He's got a DD too. Hello, Moogie.
And Moogie going to pop the BKB before the stun connects, and maybe they can turn this the other way. There is an Eclipse available, but will he use it here? Yapzor showing off that Shadow Amulet. SCCC on the high ground. Actually goes in onto the Tiny. Ace forced to pop his BKB as he presses forward, but on the backside, this Tiny's been isolated, and Newbee are going to bring him down. The Golem with the additional stun to make it all the easier. Yapzor will TP out as he makes it to the tree line, and the rest of Secret do complete the Exodus.
Man, KP's Yule Scepter is coming handy so many times. Just there again, cancel the TP, make sure there's no free getaway there.
It's the setup. So now Newbee grouped up as 5 in the bottom lane. They're going to take out this last outer tower. It is this tier 2, already pretty low on HP. And we might see another high ground siege, possibly thinking if Tiny's got the buyback, let's force it. If he doesn't, we're going high ground.
They haven't found that big play. No giant egg, no big Shivas across 5 heroes. I mean, there's a Veil here too with the Earthshaker. There's still that chance they wipe them all, but you've lost so much already at this point. They need several fights to get back into this one. Crimson Guard delivered as well. The reason why we see this Underlord up against the Gyro so much.
And the Naga Siren, Aghanim Scepter. Look at the positioning from Kaka, staying so far back, and Secret know this. KP, the target of choice. Kaka does not want to use the ultimate for this. They're going to Glimmer Cape him. He'll heal back up, and KP is actually going to be just fine.
Okay, that means there's no disengage in that sense, so they're just going to get out. Oh, don't leave Moogie. Uh-oh. There's...
Okay, that was close. The glimpse, not going to bring him back.
Wow, I definitely thought Moogie's about to get grabbed.
Yeah.
All right, easy.
So 17 to 17.
Oh, he popped his BKB.
Oh, yeah,
that would
obviously.
explain it.
The magic immunity, quite good
Good
against
item,
Blitz.
I hear.
So anyhow, Newbee's still relatively happy with that, though. They're at this point where they've got the lead, and all they need to do is hang on to it, control the map, continue farming effectively, and I think maybe Newbee just looking to wait for the next Roche. It is going to be Roche 3, so that means Refresher Shard is coming. This is the time when you just want to reset, be patient, and not throw this lead away.
Yeah, and you look at that net worth chart, though, and it's awfully green. In terms of, sorry, my mistake, the net worth, the other chart with the 5 heroes. That one, very green. There's a lot of secret heroes up there.
Absolutely.
It's Moogie, but then it's a lot of secret heroes.
Yeah, the Gyrocopter is still farming very well, and the Phoenix is farming impressively well. I mean, Fada has now overtaken the Tiny. I guess Mid-1 has been the victim of a couple of these gank attempts, but he's even picked up Akaya now to try to do a little bit of extra damage when those big team fights do break out. Aghanim Scepter going to be coming up next on the Phoenix. A huge reset tool if he can grab it.
Newbee looking to close this one out here. He's playing a bit aggressive, but Faith willing to go a little bit further than SCCC.
Probably not going to find much with this smoke rotation. How far off of Roche are we, Trent? Pretty far. So we'll see what the timer looks like in about a minute and a half. So still plenty of time to sit back, farm, find that next round of core items. Puppey does have an Aghanim Scepter queued up on the Disruptor. A game-changing item, but oh so far away.
I love the auras on Newbee. They look like they're doing one of those quests from the Battle Pass right now. I mean, we're going for the 37-minute drums on Faith after just getting his Solar Crest as well. So they're ready to buff somebody up when they go for the last 2 racks.
They've got the Shivas coming out on KP. The only thing they're lacking is basically a Vlad's offering.
Yeah, perfect. We'll be in there.
Down bottom, Yapzor maybe scouted out. He's just going to blink into the tree line and TP, but Song of the Siren. Will they be able to find him? Kaka moves into the tree lines, and it looks like this will be another freebie on the Earthshaker. He does what he can. Ace is also going to get picked off by Moogie, making the retreat, and it's 2 down for Secret, just like that. What happened?
I mean, Moogie's just slaying down there. Takes out Ace. BKB was used. Could not fight him. That Satanic is just... Whew.
Well, and, Trent, this went from, okay, it's not that bad for Secret, to Newbee are looking to try to head up to the high ground if they can. They won't have a creep wave, so this timing window rather tight. There is also a buyback available on the Gyrocopter, so probably won't be able to capitalize too much off that set of kills, but does push them just a little bit further in the lead in terms of economy. BKB on the way for Tiny, and Luna, what was that queued up? Was that a nullifier?
Currently just the Relic, but I don't know, maybe he'll do the same thing. Maybe he's inspired from last game. Just get a Rapier.
Quite possibly.
If that Aegis becomes theirs, you never know. But of course, I do agree. I think Nullifier would be a fine replacement for the Dragonlance.
Well, we'll see. Moogie with a lot of gold stockpiled. He will have pick of the litter. So Gyrocopter down for 10. Definitely does not want to buy back here. They will be forced to glyph earlier than planned. KP gets broken. Big burst damage coming his way. Static Storm, Kinetic Field. But Yule's Scepter goes off, and now Song of the Siren. Just watch the heal. There's that Aghanims from Kakai, and KP right back to full HP. Moogie jumps in. BKB Eclipse. Puppey falls. Mid-1 in trouble next. He's down as well. No buybacks on either. And Secret could be in big trouble in Game 1, Trent. Now the counter initiation. The egg comes in. Big damage onto Luna. But hey, they've got the taxi service. KP trying to take him home, and it'll go.
Again? Oh, Yapzor just cannot find a dunk this game.
Oh my. Heartbreaking for Secret. So bottom lane of Barracks does stay standing. The tier 3 falls.
I mean, credit, they held with just 3 heroes.
That's true.
It's impressive in itself, but they're going to come back a lot stronger. And yeah, Moogie, he is indeed inspired. He really wants that Aegis, and he wants a Rapier right after.
Oh, it's not a bad strategy. Let's take a look at the replay here. So, again, what stopped Yapzor this time, Trent?
I love how they go for the break, and then all this damage, and then Kaka's like, hey, this Aghanims is probably pretty good. I mean, this is before he even has the 20 HP regen on KP. In fact, he didn't even go for it. He went for the attack speed. They're balling out of control so hard right now. But
yeah, and it's just a great counter initiation from Moogie as he jumps in. Not much mid-1 can do as even the Death Ward flies. Let's keep our eye on Yapzor in the back line here. Okay, never mind. As Barracks are going down, Newbee have come back into the base. Tiny just about to respawn, but this will be the bottom lane of Barracks. So they did hold during that last fight, Trent, but kind of all for nothing in the end.
Yeah, just come right back. I mean, especially once the dunk gets missed, right? Because then it's just like, all right, they don't have dunk. We can just run on back, and he's still not going to have it. And it'll be another 50 seconds before that is even the case.
Well,
Oh, Moogie, he's lurking. He's
on
heading
the other
over there.
side,
Is it time?
It's also Roche.
Oh, it's time, baby. We got the rapier.
It's a rapier.
In we go.
It feels so safe. You know, normally it's that item. We're so far behind. It's our Hail Mary to get back into this game. But Newbee are doing it the other way. We're so far ahead. We can secure Roche. We are ready to close this one out. Roche falling very quickly. Of course, the Aegis gets picked up by Moogie.
He wants to catch somebody outside the base. He's going to be correct here, but they find him first.
Oh, no. He just gets a little too aggressive. Static Storm comes, so no song to reset. And Newbee might need to be a little more patient now. 70 seconds till that Naga Siren respawns.
Terrifying. That could have been the end of the game right there, but they're actually sneaking here as well.
Newbee
They don't
are going in
expect
for more. Oh, the Pit of Malice on 2. They go into the egg, but Moogie pops the BKB. He's going to try to finish off the Phoenix, and they will. Gyrocopter and the Yapzor both go down. Buybacks coming from only Fada. Gyro does have it for now, but it looks like Newbee are going for the death push. They won't have Yapzor. He has the ultimate, but no buyback. In the grave for 45 seconds. Newbee just want to end this. The Rapier Luna destroys the tier 4 so quickly as now the throne is exposed. This could be the final fight. Can Secret make this hold? They kill Faith first, but an instant buyback as Moogie just stays focused on the throne. Remember, if they kill him once, he's coming back to life. Ace goes down again. It's a dieback for him. KP channels the ultimate, but it's Newbee's game all day. It's GG, and they go